Donald Trump of United States of America cannot try what he tried with Venezuela in Nigeria. Donald Trump cannot pick Tinubu of Nigeria the way he picked the president of Venezuela. These are the words of ignoramuses. These are the words of those who are blinded to the tales of history. But pay attention. Okay, listen, pay attention, Africa. You see, what I just told you is what some ignoramuses in Africa and in Nigeria are saying. No, Nigeria is the largest black nation in the world. Donald Trump cannot do that kind of a thing to Tinubu. Do you know how large Nigerian army is? I laugh at them. Some even say, hey, this is the first time that such a thing is happening. How can they go to Venezuela and take their president? It has never happened in history. Really? Really? Let me take you to history. Let me take you to what we call yesterday in historical terms so you can understand where we are coming from. Pay attention. You see, this that happened in Venezuela is not the first. No, it has happened before. And it might continue to happen. Let me teach you. I have taught you before, but maybe you have forgotten. But let me teach you again. Let me be labo so it can sink into your subconscious mind because it is relevant to what is happening in the world today. In the political arena and the political scene of the world. Pay attention. You see, I am going to be using Nigeria to teach you. Okay? Because Nigerians are the ones involved in this topic. Because I see what they are painting online. Pay attention. You see, what do you think that is being called Lagos bombardment of 1851? What do you think it is? Pay attention. Don't you know that exactly how America went into Venezuela, that was exactly how Britain came into Lagos and took a king? Pay attention, let me explain to you. You see, slave trade was abolished in 1807. 1807. But then the Britain told us that yet Lagos was still involved in the trade of enslaved people despite slave trade being abolished in 1807. And so there was need for them to come to what was then called Lagos to stop it. That was what they told us, but we knew what they actually came to that place to do. When they came to what you know today as Lagos and met the Oba who was in charge of that sovereignty, who was that? Oba Kosoko. Oba Kosoko told them that Lagos will not be under their control because we knew they wanted to control the Lagos port. Oba said, you will not control this place. What did the British did? The British said that he was pioneering slave trade in the sea port of Lagos. What did they do? They went back and came back in 1851. They came back with 4 warships. 4 warships. They have names which I will mention for you. The first warship that Britain brought to Lagos bombardment in 1851 was called HMS Water Witch, HMS Teaser, HMS Samson, HMS Blood Hound. These were the 4 ships that came to Lagos in 1851. They bombarded Lagos. Do you understand what I meant by the word bombardment? Shellings was falling in Lagos. What happened in Venezuela was just a bombardment that lasted for at least 1 hour. Lagos was bombarded for 5 days. Throughout the sovereignty of Lagos. Oba Kosoko did not just run. He flee. He flee. He ran. He flee. And Britain took control of Lagos. Donald Trump just told you that they are going to control Venezuela until there is a smooth transition, right? You said that never happened before. It happened in Lagos. The Britain picked a man who was loyal to them. Who was that? He was called Akintoye. They made him the new Oba Akintoye. They made him to sign a cession of Lagos. What does that mean? He signed and handed over Lagos to be under what? British control. Until 1861, when there was a new Oba. Who was that? Oba Doshomu. Oba Doshomu was made to sign Lagos. Lagos became a British colony as early as 1861. When you go deep into history, you will find out there is a certain level of pension that they were paying to him, Oba Doshomu, for signing that. That is how Lagos became a British colony in 1861. So what happened in Venezuela is not a new thing in history. It happened in your sovereignty, Nigeria. So don't think it cannot happen to your president today. What do you think happened to King Jaja of Opobo 1887 when he refused the British from trading with the inner land and they took him? They took him first to Ghana, and from Ghana to St. Vincent Island, he never returned alive. What do you think happened to King Nana Orumo of Itsekiri 1894? What do you think happened to Oba of Benin 1897? What is confusing you is English word. That of Britain bombarding Lagos was called Lagos bombardment. That of Benin was called Benin punitive expedition. And this of Venezuela is called intrusion into sovereignty. These are English words. The same action, the same consequences. You see, what America is doing today, Britain has already done before. The reason for the action might be different. The reason for the action might be different because if you look at Venezuela today, their citizens are celebrating that their president was taken. The reasons for the action might be different, but the result is the same. The method is the same. The approach is the same. So don't think that it cannot happen to your president in Nigeria. It can happen to him and nothing will happen. The only leader in Africa that what America did in Venezuela cannot happen to is a leader whom the people have trust in his governance. Do you understand? The reason why it can happen in your country, Nigeria, is because there is a low trust in the governance of your country. The only leader it cannot happen to is a leader who understood the fact that power do not lie with powerful institutions, that power lies with the people. A leader who understood that was populi was day. A leader who understood the true meaning of the word Ubuntu. Africa. Wisdom is the principal thing.